And
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, monsters and minstrels and dipsters and weblins and everybody out there.
So this is the last time Monster Handler Matt's going to be answering questions on the stream. So you guys sent in some final burning questions for us. So thanks for doing that. The first question, we actually have two questions about Starhenge.
Okay.
So first of all, why did Starhenge fall?
Starhenge, as the connective piece between the cosmic energies of the beyond and the monster world below, shares a very special connection with the monster world. It sort of needs to have energy feeding from it in both directions. And obviously the era, the golden age of Dawn of Fire, ended at some point somehow. We're not exactly sure the details of that yet. Starhenge and the monster world was severed at the surface. So Starhenge being sort of a mix of not quite either machine nor organic, it's sort of in between, has this in between quality, was able to subsist for a long time on its own, but then eventually I think it ran out of gas, so to speak, and then when it finally started to really sort of corrode and run out of juice, then I think it fell out of orbit, and now we have Celestial Island as a result.
Great. So another question about Starhenge. Inside the model of Starhenge, there is another sigil that doesn't seem to relate to any of the known elements. So what's the deal?
Yes, there's been some speculation for some time about a 13th celestial, which, if you're following your zodiac signs, is correct, because I think recently, in the last 10 years, they introduced a 13th zodiac sign. Oh, it starts with an O, Ophiuchus or something like that. It sort of budges out both of the zodiac's symbols on either side.
But that doesn't correspond with any of the existing celestials.
That's right. And because the group of celestials is confined to the number 12, there are 5 naturals plus fire, and then 5 ethereals plus electricity. There is, in fact, only 12 known species of celestial. The sigil that I believe you're referring to can be found on one of the floating orbital pieces around Starhenge, and this symbol between the passing of time and elements of transformation. It's also, I might also be carved into the perimeter of the teleporter, but it is a monster world symbol that does not confirm the existence of a third celestial, and then the elemental symbols that we do know are the ones that are rotating around the pieces, the separate discs stacked of Starhenge.
Right. So moving on from Starhenge, many people in the chat wanted to know, what is Rare Wubbox saying?
Rare Wubbox, having returned from an adventure to the monster world, wanted to impart some of the things that it had heard in the human world. Now, because Rare Wubbox is an elemental being of electricity, the way that it traveled throughout the human world was via wires and through cables and through sort of like back doors throughout the internet. It was traveling all around, and so what it had a chance to listen to and what it misinterpreted as sort of anthems or song were actually a lot of error messages that computers were spitting out. If you listen carefully, there's a little bit of distortion on, but several of the phrases that Rare Wubbox is uttering have to do with error, or system meltdown, or overflow, or stuff like that. So its inspiration comes from the messages that it was hearing when it was traveling through the electricity of the human world.
Very cool. I hope a lot of people can put their minds at ease now knowing what he's saying. So the next question is about Weirdos. So this person says, it seems like Talker is based off of Dave Kerr, and that Persona is based off of Sarah Parsons. Is this true? And if so, who is Magpie based off of?
Those are very astute observations, and they are, in fact, based on those real-world performers. Like the Sugar Fam, they share a connection with a human performer, and that's what makes them legendary as their class. So Talker is voiced by Dave Kerr, Persona voiced by Sarah Parsons, and so Magpie is actually voiced by Maggie Park, who you will find in the credits for My Singing Monsters as having done many of the other voices of several other characters, to include Pom Pom and some of Tweedle and Dandy Doo and a few other characters like that. So that is where the name Magpie comes from. It is also a reference to the Weirdos human performer.
Right. So another viewer asked, do you think any of us viewers could make a great game as powerful as My Singing Monsters in the future?
First of all, I think we'll acknowledge that question with a thank you to everyone who plays My Singing Monsters and for calling it a great game. We're very passionate about it, but what makes it, I think, especially great and special to all of us is the devotion and the love that you guys have shown the game over the course of over 6 years of playing My Singing Monsters. So I'll start with saying thank you very much for that. And with respect to the question, can you make a game like that? Absolutely. Our whole mandate here at Big Blue Bubble is to inspire worlds of creativity, and so if something that we've done has inspired you to take an interest in how to make video games or any other form of art that inspires creativity, then I think that we've done our job. And there's lots of ways that you can contribute to a video game. It doesn't have to just be coding. It doesn't have to be art. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that happens with sound design, user experience design. There's the marketing team that helps bring the game to players and crafts the experience for them once all of the amazing work that the programmers and artists are ready to be shown to the world. So there's lots of different ways. Even if you're just an ideas person and you want to develop your ability to actually put those ideas into practice and code them, or sketch a drawing of what it is that you really want to see translated into a game, then absolutely. I think that the games that the next generation of students and programmers and artists and game enthusiasts make are going to be absolutely incredible. And the games that are coming out today, we would never have dreamed up 10 years ago, and then 10 years ago those games would never have been dreamed up. So the advancement is amazing, but the ideas remain as strong as ever. So in short, yes, no problem.
Well, I think that's a very inspirational answer. Got 2 more questions left.
Ooh.
Is there a deeper connection between the natural islands and the continent? Deeper connection.
Interesting that you should say deeper connection. It is certainly coincidental that there are the same number of elemental lands on the continent as there are on among the natural islands, but because so much time has elapsed between when the continent was around and when the natural islands of the current day are around, at this point we are sort of stuck speculating. We think that there might be a relationship between those two things. Whether or not the mirror islands are involved in some way, or alternate timelines or pocket dimensions are happening. There's a lot of different possibilities. It's sort of like trying to figure out what's in the middle of a black hole kind of situation. We're just speculating right now, and we're learning more with each passing discovery that we make. But it is our theory, unproven, that there is a deeper connection.
Great. Interesting. And the last question is, what happened to the fire hybrids after the dawn of fire?
Yes, the fire hybrids, if I remember correctly, 23 of them discovered so far in Dawn of Fire, certainly make up a big portion of the monster family tree that we get to know during Dawn of Fire, and mysteriously they disappear. So it's a great follow-up question to the question that we were just answering about the relationship between the continent and the current natural islands. These pieces of the puzzle are all connected in some way, and it's, I think, just a matter of making sure that we're orienting the pieces in the right shape and understanding. So far as we know, the fire hybrids did not go extinct, like many people have speculated. But they are certainly still unaccounted for. I would put their status as lost rather than gone forever. So whether or not they'll ever be heard from again, it's unclear. Maybe they're, I don't know, off doing their own thing. But there hasn't been any contact with the fire hybrids since the conclusion of the era of Dawn of Fire. And I think part of the experience of the monsters who persisted, all of the species that we're familiar with, like mammoth and octopus and pom-pom and everybody involved in that particular side of the family, it would appear that their memories were affected by this event. So when the solitary Cana was first rescued from its amber prison on Tribal Island, it started sharing stories of this golden age of the Dawn of Fire that I think stirred some of the memories of the monsters, but they're still sort of hazy, a little fuzzy about those details. It's almost like recalling a past life for them, I think. So maybe at some point though their memories will be jogged a little further, or some other major event will take place that allow them to recall exactly what it is that happened, but for now the fire hybrid status is officially missing.
Good to know. So just one last thing before you introduce the special My Singing Monsters video that we're showing because we hit our $3,000 goal.
Amazing.
I just wanted to announce the winner of the 12 o'clock giveaway. So this giveaway was to any viewer, and it was a special prize because it's the start of our spooky block. So the prize was any monster of their choice, plus some spooktical decorations.
Nice.
And the winner is LegoBot144.
Hey,
So
congratulations!
LegoBot.
And now, if you guys want to take it away.
Sure. So, thanks again for helping us meet our donation deadline. This is
the third one.
An amazing milestone for us. You know, I think when we started the stream today, we were just hoping that people would log in and join us and maybe help us chip away at it. But I think we're all pretty blown away by the
Unity.
Yeah, the unity and the milestones that we achieved today. We kept having to increase the challenge, which is great because then that just means so much more money is going towards the Extra Life cause and making sure that children and young people who are sick get the care and attention and the treatments that they deserve. So an exceptionally worthy cause. And so segueing right into the special video that we have to show for you today. So back in the year 2015, when we were working on the finishing touches for My Singing Monsters Dawn of Fire, one of the programmers saved out a video of something that they were observing happening in the game, in the test environment, and the video title was simply Fixed It. And I think this is a great example of the sort of experience that you can run into when you're developing a game. It's not always a smooth ride. Some things can go a little off track. Some things can can have a little bit of a chaotic response.
But it's so much fun.
But it's great to look back on it and recall the fun times and the challenges that you meet, and the challenges that, of course, we eventually overcame and were able to create the second major installment of the My Sing Monsters franchise. So, without much further ado, here is Fixed It, our video.
Ba-da-da-dum, 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 ba-dum bum bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-dum bum bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Na 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 na. Wow 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 wow. Na 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 na. Wow 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 wow. Na 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 wow 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 wow. Na 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 wow 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 wow. Hey everybody. Ba-da-da-dum, 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 ba-dum bum bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, 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 ba-dum bum bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum. Na 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 na. Wow 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 wow. Na 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 na. Wow 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 wow. Na 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 na. Wow 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 wow. Na 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 na. Wow 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 wow. Hey everybody.
Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much
So
as
there
we
it
did.
was, Fixed It. Not exactly fixed, sort of the opposite of that, but